Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another review. For this review, we're finally taking a look at the DAIMA version of Vegeta, his adult form. Waited a long time for this figure to come in. Honestly, I'm waiting a long time for a lot of the figures I want to review to come in, but this guy luckily came in today. So the front of the box is typical Dragon Ball Z SHF packaging. Shows Vegeta there with his crossed arms. You can see the figure and some of his accessories there. On the side, some poses, some faces that he's got. On the back, shows a lot more of his poses. A lot more of his range and mobility. And then on the side just says Vegeta Daima in purple lettering. So let's get this guy open and take a closer look. All right, so here's Vegeta Daima out of the packaging. And I have to say that I was actually surprised how lithe or skinny and thin he is. He's kind of looking like he's rocking, Super Saiyan God trimmed down body buck, which if you can fit other heads on this guy, the Super Saiyan God head we got from the Broly movie would probably look really good on this body. But yeah, I was really surprised at how just small this figure is and how small Vegeta is in general in Daima. He's not as bulky as he is, in the earlier days of Z. But no, it's really cool. A lot of the engineering on this guy is awesome, and I hope they continue to use it moving forward. Maybe give him a more bulky frame to kind of, have that look from Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, so you can see they still don't have any panel lining on the armor, which at this point I feel like we're never going to get. Even third-party companies I don't think are doing any kind of panel lining like that. But yeah, but the gloves are looking nice. The undersuit is really nicely, sculpted. Has that nice blue color. His boots are nice. They are going back to that same rounded aesthetic from DBZ Broly, which I don't mind, but I do miss the, pointy boots. And then his face sculpt looks really, really good. This is a nice Vegeta. Definitely looks how he looked in Daima, kind of more round features. A little bit softer on the hair sculpt, although it's still spiky, but it's just different. And then on the back here, looks good. So for his articulation, this guy can look up and try not to use his abdomen. Look up about that much. He can look down about that much. He does have some side to side pivot, which is really, really good. His neck in here, does a good job of giving him some extra range. So you can get him to kind of look off in all different kinds of directions. This top part of his chest is soft rubber. These straps here, they're soft too. If you were to look in there, it's covering that butterfly joint. But the arms go up this much. It's good. You can bring them to the front. So that's what it looks like for his butterfly joint. And then on the back, pretty clean. He does have a bicep swivel, if I can get it to swivel without his arm. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which look really good. The glove itself has some swivel too, which is cool. And then, of course, his wrists are on the standard SH Figuarts joint. And then for the abdomen, which all Vegetas have always had kind of garbage abdomen articulation, but this guy, because it's soft, has really nice ab crunch. So going forward, you kind of got to lift it up a bit and then crunch it down. Goes forward about that much, which is insane, and it's about time we got a Vegeta that could do this. And no gapping in the back, which is incredible. They finally did it. And then going all the way back, where we're gonna see some gapping now, but that's the gapping in the back, and then he goes back about that much. And as you can kind of see there, this piece is a soft diaper piece hiding the articulation for his legs. So his legs can do the full splits. Has some dangly bits hanging down here, but I think that's just the way they're going to go forward with that for now, and they're not going to change it. He has thigh rotation. Legs can kick up pretty high because that diaper is soft, so kick up to about that much. Double jointed knees. The boot does not have a swivel, but his ankles are much improved, so they go up about that much, go down about that much, and then you can get a really nice ankle pivot, and he has a toe joint right there. So yeah, this Vegeta, you can do a lot of cool stuff with him, if you just take the time to even just pose him up a little bit. But yeah, you can get a lot of cool stuff with him. It's that looks really good. So I'm really excited to see them continue to use this body mold for future Vegetas. And then also because he has that nice New ankle pivot. Let's see what we can do. And the ab articulation. I don't know if he'll stand, but you can get him into a pose kind of like that, which is pretty cool. And of course you're going to see gapping, but I mean, it's an action figure and you can mess around with it. But just for like a quick pose, like this is super awesome. It's about time Vegeta was able to do movement like this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Actually, I think I might like Vegeta way more than I like Goku, to be honest. But yeah, let's get into some of his accessories and see if those hold up to how cool he is just base out of the box. Oh, one thing I noticed when trying to kind of put him back into a neutral pose is that his leg kind of shifts up and down just a little bit. It's like a tiny drop down, but he has it. I don't think it really does anything to add extra range, but he does have a tiny drop down, which is very interesting. All right, so taking a look at some of his accessories, Vegeta comes with a handful of stuff. First, he comes with a couple of faces, which is standard for SH Figuarts. He comes with a screaming face, which looks really, really nice. Really nicely sculpted and painted. He has a teeth gritted face looking off to the side, or looking down to the side and down. Looks really good as well. And then he's got the cocky smirk face, which looks really, really good. And a cool note about this one is like one of his eyes is like slightly squinted than the other. So it gives it a little bit more personality. These are pretty easy to put on. So I can demonstrate that with the other hair sculpt he comes with, which is like the side hair sculpt. So this is all one head sculpt. Pretty cool that they give you this as an extra. You don't need to pull it apart. You just kind of place the face in there, which is a cool new design for Vegeta, and it makes it look pretty seamless. Let me see if it'll... It's kind of working in there, but kind of... Let's see. The struggle about putting faces on characters like, well, I guess any DBZ character because all their hair is spiky, but it hurts. It hurts a lot when you try to put this on. But all these faces fit. I think it just needs to be heated up in order to like fit in there properly, like enclose all the gaps, but they all fit. So this is how it looks with like the head looking off to the side. But you see like the gap here. You can definitely close that up. I think you just need to heat up the hair sculpt so it's an easier time for the faceplate to go in. But this side is perfectly fine, a little bit, you know, out there, but I think it looks good. So yeah, that alternate head sculpt is something that he comes with, which is pretty sweet. He comes with a pair of crossed arms, which they always try to give to Vegeta, which looks really good. Pretty easy to put on too, looks like. And then he comes with a couple pairs of hands. So he has a pair of like grabby, blasty, maybe like pose hands you could use these for. These are all nicely sculpted, no fingernails on the gloves, so you know they're not reusing somebody else. He has some karate or like pose hands for his, you know, battle stance. And then he's got a hand for Big Bang Attack. Well, two hands, a pair of hands for Big Bang Attack, and then he just got another pair of hands that are more clawy, grippy, but you can also use these for Gallic Gun. It looks really good. I think the accessories are good for, you know, a budget release, but I'm also mad that they gave the Gallic Gun, like, effect part to the tiny mini Daima Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, and they didn't give it to this guy. It's like, you already made the mold, just pack it in with this Vegeta as well, because they know not a lot of people are going to want to buy that Vegeta, because he's so small and so expensive. But yeah, that'd be my only gripe, is like they need to start packing in these effect parts that they already have made for other characters, or like other versions of the same character, and just pack them in with, you know, all the characters, because they're all going to use the same moves. I don't think it's that difficult, but you know, corporations and money. So let's get into some size comparisons, and we'll also do a couple head swaps too. And for our first size comparison, here he is standing next to the Daima Goku, and then just a normal SH Figuarts Goku. This is Super Saiyan Full Power version. Again, I think this Vegeta and this Goku scale really well. I mean, Vegeta's supposed to be short. This Goku is taller than this Daima Goku, so I don't know if he's supposed to be this short, but if he is, perfect, awesome. They finally made, you know, an accurate height Vegeta. Just need him to kind of match the original DBZ aesthetic, but I still think he works out, you know, pretty well with the two of them. And then here he is standing next to the Planet Namek Vegeta and the new Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. I just put the old battle armor clothes basic head on him. But yeah, he's definitely shorter than these guys, which I know people want, you know, short Vegeta, which I thought this height was pretty good, but if you want him to be shorter like this, I think he still works out. And as you can see here, these heads are bigger than his, so I'm really interested to see like how the head swaps are going to look on that figure, because they are bigger. And then just to compare him next to some third-party Dragon Ball Z figures, here he is standing next to the Tonsen Trunks from the BoJack movie and the Tonsen, or Kamione, Goku with bike figure. Just a small plug, I do have reviews for both these figures on my channel, so if you're interested in looking at them, please go check them out, like, support me. But yeah, I think these guys, you know, it makes Vegeta kind of look like a teenager, which is very interesting. But, I mean, with some proper posing, you could definitely get them to kind of look like they're supposed to be together. So that's pretty cool. And last but not least, if you want to have them in your Marvel Legends display or pose them with them for whatever reason, here he is next to him. The Spider-Man animated series, and then the Iron Man right here. Of course, he's still going to be very small, smaller than normal next to these guys. But again, some photo magic and you can make it work. So next, before I give my final thoughts, I want to take some time and do a couple of head swaps. So first, I'm going to try the original 1.0 God head for Vegeta, just because it's a little bit smaller. And I wanted to see if it would actually work on this guy. One thing to note is that the skin tone is not going to match up really on any of these. But it is worth checking out. So this head is smaller, but it does not fit on that ball joint, which kind of sucks. But just having it on there, I mean, that's what it looks like. The original, where did it go? The original 1.0 body for God Vegeta was kind of thin like this one. So I thought that would be pretty cool if you could get it to work. But, you know, you could put some blue tack on it and then, like, have him with this. I actually think that looks really nice on this body, to be honest. I really liked this head sculpt back in the day. And then taking a look at the Planet Namek Vegeta, this is not going to work. I mean, that ball joint hole is, like, really big. But if you did get it on there, you'd have to make it sit up a little bit. I don't know. These heads are all too big. They don't really work. This one from the 9,000 power level, or 90,000 or whatever it was power level, the old battle armor that I have on my blue Vegeta, this is what it looks like. But again, the head is so big, it just doesn't look right. Now this is the Super Saiyan head from that new Super Saiyan version that came out with like the new metallic hair, the trunks that match it, and this one also doesn't really fit, but I do think this looks pretty good. If you can get some blue tack on there and have it sit properly, I think this looks really, really good. It's a shame that this new Vegeta has this smaller neck peg, so like you can't really do too much unless like a third-party company makes like an adapter or something for it. So that sucks, but I guess I hope they make a Super Saiyan version, give us, you know, Super Saiyan 3. Unfortunately, they didn't go Super Saiyan 4 in the show, but there's always the future. But yeah, I really hope to see, you know, some different forms on this Vegeta body, because this is super cool. Looks super good. So for my final thoughts, I really like this guy. I mean, I think Tamashii Nations actually, for once, like wowed me with, you know, a new version of a figure. I mean, the 2.0s were cool when they first came out because it was such a jump from the 1.0s. And nowadays, it's kind of hard to differentiate what's like a 2.0, a 3.0. I guess people are kind of calling this 4.0. But yeah, I mean, I really like this. The use of the soft material on like the waist and the chest really adds to that mobility, and it's, you know, about time that they finally engineered something to give Vegeta proper ab crunch so he can get into all his poses. Honestly, I can't wait for them to make a Dragon Ball Z version of Vegeta, and that'll just be like the definitive version. So, you know, we don't have to try to kit bash or look for third parties. You know, I know a lot of people don't like third-party figures just because they're not official, they're infringing on the license, but I don't know, they're fun, and they're kind of doing things that Tamashii Nations either don't want to do or like can't do or something, but I don't know, they're giving us kind of what we want. So if Tamashii Nations can continue going down this road, I'm pretty excited to see what they have next. I'd love to see them do a Broly, like a new Broly, like DBZ Broly with all this new technology. I think that'd be pretty sick. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if you like this figure, if you're excited for any more versions of this Vegeta or, you know, the Daima Goku. And if you're excited for Tamashii Nations to use this buck going forward. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, take care and have a great rest of your day.